In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Tequila Uno Dos Tres, or 1, 2, 3's number 3 Añejo, right here on the Tequila Hombre, coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of the number 3 or Tres from the Uno Dos Tres or 1, 2, 3 tequila line. But before we get into this, if you joined us yesterday for our live stream, thank you so much for coming out, asking questions and commenting. We had a blast. It was a lot of fun. If you missed it, make sure you click the subscription button below and the bell next to it so you'll be notified next time we're on. We do them every Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 7 o'clock Eastern. You guys can ask questions. I answer them for you. We have some nice conversations. It's great. We had a lot of fun. Everybody there was awesome. Thank you so much for coming out for those that did watch it. Now, on Wednesdays, we do our happy hour with the Hombre, and you want to make sure you make this one because we have a great guest. Our guest for this week is Julio Bermejo. He is the owner of Tommy's Mexican Restaurant in San Francisco, which their tequila collection there is legit. And then he also is the creator of the Tommy's Margarita, the world famous Tommy's Margarita. It's going to be a great live stream. Make sure you check it out. It's tomorrow, happy hour with the Hombre. It's at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time right here on YouTube, and which is also 9 p.m. Eastern. And you don't want to miss it. So make sure you click the subscribe button below, click the bell next to it so you get notified when we go live, or you can just go on and set a reminder on YouTube on the channel. All right, so that's enough. That's all I've got for today's episode for announcements. Let's get on to how this tequila is made. All right, I'm not going to get into how this tequila is made with the processes and everything, because I did so in the review for the Blanco. If you haven't seen the Blanco review, I'll post a link to it right up here. And I told the story about the brand and also go into how it's made and the organic certifications that it has. And then if you missed the Reposado review as well, I'll put the link to that right here. And that talks about how the Reposado is aged. So then we'll get into how this one is aged, which is a little different. The Reposado was aged in 223 liter standard bourbon barrels. Okay. And it was aged for 6 months in its new American oak. And so what he did with this was kind of interesting. That's David Ravandi, the creator and owner of the brand. What he did was he decided to take a smaller barrel, half the size. This one is 114 liters, okay? Half the size of the barrel they used to age the Repo, and they put the Añejo in a half-size barrel. And what happens when you shrink the size of the barrel is you actually shorten the amount of time that it needs to be aged, because you have less Blanco to more surface area. So it actually ages quicker in a smaller barrel. And if you ever tried aging in a home barrel, you have a 1 liter, 2 liter, and you put stuff in it, it ages very quickly. So this ages more or faster in the smaller, the 114 liter barrel, than it will in the 223 liter barrel. And so what he did is he put the Añejo in these barrels and he aged them for 18 months. So if you just do some quick calculations in your head, this is 18 months is more like 36 months equivalent in a regular standard barrel. So it's going to have some really nice wood flavoring and stuff to it. It's going to be a little more heavier on the barrel because it is a smaller barrel and it's aged for longer. So it should be interesting. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the tasting portion and see what this is all about. All right, going up top to our pour cam, I am, of course, using the Denver and Liley agave glass, my go-to glass now, because I can detect all the wonderful aromas and flavors coming out of this glass. When you put agave spirits in this glass, they just sing to you, and I love that. This is my go-to glass. It's the only one I use now. So there you go. So we'll go ahead and put some of this lovely Añejo into the Denver and Liley agave glass. And there you go. So let's go back up top and see what it looks like in the glass. All right, taking a look at this in the glass. It coats the glass. Lovely. Look at those legs and tears coming down the glass. And it's got a nice kind of medium amber-esque kind of color to it. Beautiful color. Clarity is crystal clear. Don't see anything floating in it, which is always a good sign. All right, so let's see what we get on the nose on this. All right, I'm definitely picking up hints of the cinnamon and baking spices from the agave. From ripe cooked agave. Definitely picking up oakiness in it. It's got nice woody, oaky nose to it. And I'm picking up like a little bit of dark fruit, like cherry coming through. And then vanilla and caramel are coming through, kind of blended nicely together. A little bit of citrus in there too. Fruitiness in there that's nice. Yeah, it smells really good. I like the way it smells. All right, so let's see what we get on our flavor profile. Coats the mouth wonderfully. I am picking up the baking spices and the cinnamon and stuff on the front just a little bit. And then it goes in right into the oakiness. You get that bitter, woody oakiness that starts out, which is nice. It's great. It's not off-putting or anything. Then I am getting a hint of like dark cherries, like Bing cherries that starts out. Then some vanilla follows. Then a little sweet caramel comes through. And it finishes with like a bittersweet chocolate in there. And then on the tongue, right on the end of it, you get this sweet caramelly finish to it, which is really nice. I'd say the finish on this is medium. It's not really long, but it's medium. But it does say, hey, I'm really going to leave you with this nice caramel sweetness. So take another sip. A little bit of that ripe cooked agave right up front. Then it goes right into the wood. So there's definitely a heavier wood presence on this. If you're a bourbon or whiskey drinker, you'll like this. And then it goes into the like fruity, like cherry, dark cherry fruit, like Bing cherry fruitiness to it. Then you get a little bit of vanilla, some bittersweet chocolate in there, hints of caramel in there as well. It's not bad. I like it. It's good. It is heavy on the oak. So if you're somebody that doesn't like heavier oak presence, that this is not going to be for you. It is a little heavier on the oak. Not as agave forward as the Reposado was, but it's good. And if you're somebody that likes bourbons or whiskeys, you'll enjoy this one. It's really nice. There's not a lot of heat to it at all. Very easy to sip. Very oily and creamy on the mouthfeel. It is a nice Añejo. Now, would this be something that I buy and put on my shelf and sip occasionally? Sure. For the price that I got it for, I think I picked it up for like $34.95 or something on sale. I definitely would keep it for that. How would I rate this on the agave scale? I'll give this one 4 agave. It's quite good. I recommend it. If you haven't tried the number 3 Añejo from 123 or Uno Dos Tres, Tequila Uno Dos Tres, make sure you pick up a bottle and try it, especially if you can get it for a good price. I recommend it. It's good, especially if you're a previous bourbon drinker like myself and like a little bit of a barrel presence there. It is there. You will enjoy it. And that's it. So if you've tried the number 3 from 123 Tequila, comment below. Let me know what you think. How did our tastings match up? If you haven't tried it, how does the flavor profile that I explained to you, how does it sound to you? Does it sound interesting? Sound like something you want to try? Is there any other Añejos you'd like for me to review? If so, comment below. Let me know. Don't forget to give me a like for the information I shared, and more importantly, don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell next to it so you'll be notified every time we post a video or when we go live. Well, that is all I have for you tonight. I definitely recommend the number 3 Añejo from 123. So far, I've been impressed with the whole line. The Blanco's good, the Repo's good, the Añejo's good. I haven't found anything wrong with any of them. So I recommend checking on all 3 out. And don't worry, I do have the Diablito, and I'll be reviewing that here soon. So you'll get the whole line here, and I'll create a playlist for it. So there you go. Until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So drink some 123. Salud.